Hi everyone, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking, thanks for all your comments, and I'm wishing you a magical day. I feel like there's extra magic in the air today, so let's see. I can't wait to see what the cards say. Yeah, there's been a lot of like the blessing of the day, the crystal of the day, the intuitive soul message, all of them aligning, pulling out some similarities. So I love that. And I feel like today is, about awakening to deeper parts of yourself and hidden things that maybe, Spirit's showing you about yourself and maybe about the things around you. So release any fear and know that it's okay. It's, part of the process. The revealing that happens from Spirit is part of the divine process. And when we're ready for the next step, they reveal a little bit more to us. So Holy Spirit, angels and guides, what are the messages? Wow. And I'm using the Heart's Hidden Secrets deck. So I feel like there's some, things coming to life. Okay. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the overall energy is conflicted. And, this may be your person having decisions to make. They may be doing some very in-depth thinking today. You may feel throughout the day where they're hot, then they're cold, then they're hot, then they're cold. Like the energy is shifting rapidly as they go through their thinking process, their processing process. And then they may have multiple choices, but they know, deep down, they know that you're the only one that that clicks, that fits the shoe. Like in Cinderella, you're the only one that fits the shoe for them, that fits the glass slipper. And I love that they keep zooming in on the blowtorch. This is like alchemy happening within them. So they have to go through this process to alchemize, the fear. And I feel like there's a lot of help today behind the scenes from Jesus, from the Ascended Masters, helping your person and you. But they, have to go through this process of thinking so that they can alchemize their fears and work through what is in their best interest truly. What is it that they truly want? What is it from the heart that they want? And I can't help but recognize this color. It's an orange color. So sacral chakra, things alchemizing, things releasing, things healing in the sacral chakra as well. So let's go to the rest of the cards. I always I talk about them as the order that they come out. So the first one is feminine energy. So this is being, being in your nurturing, kind, loving, compassionate energy as you go forward on your journey. This is magnetizing not only your person back to you, but this is magnetizing abundance to you, magnetizing soul family to you, magnetizing your highest and best good to you. So being in this nurturing, loving, compassionate energy of understanding, of peace and love, this is all making you more magnetic for your person. They're feeling that energy. And there's this primal need. That's why I say, there's alchemizing going on with their processing. But I feel they're heavy in thinking today. But this is realizations. Yeah, so they're having, and look at this is the same color. They're having significant realizations today about you, about your connection. they're having epiphanies, they're having understandings and awakenings. And it's all able to happen, I believe, because you're staying in your divine feminine power of compassion, of love, of kindness, and you're walking into your own spiritual growth, finding out more about, in depth about yourself. So this is beautiful energy. The light bulb is the light bulb is turning on, and it may cause, because this is sacral chakra energy, it may cause some emotional, it may cause, like, they may be releasing some emotion because of the realizations. You know how when you have a realization and you just feel so grateful that you've had it, they may be having some emotion, overcome with emotion, because they are grateful for understanding and for the awakenings. Emotional storm. So this is what, part of what they're going through when they're processing. They're going through that emotion. It's like, God's taking the blowtorch to them and really, help sitting them down to look at the at the past, and taking them through what they need to learn. And this is they're going through this thinking of you, they're going through the past turmoil of what happened, and they're sorting through some major emotional things, and it's creating this emotional emotional instability for them, not in the sense of them going crazy, but just it's bringing up emotion for them to release. And then they're going to come to the realization that they're wanting to apologize to you. They're hoping for forgiveness, and they want to return saying, I'm sorry. But this is something that they're coming to the conclusion of, is all of this processing is leading them to the conclusion that, wow, they, of how things were, the process of the journey and how things happened. They want to come forward, and they're hoping for forgiveness, and they want to come forward and apologize. But this is, it's them wanting to come forward, wanting to do this. And this is all coming out as part of their processing through their emotions, through their conflicts, and through their fears, all of this. And it's all coming out. This is them hoping that you can have a fresh start together. So I feel this is chasing, and I feel like, some of you may still be in the, some of you are in the chasing mode. This is them wanting to pursue you. There may be some toxicity, with that they have to let go of, but this is also resilience of the connection. So this is, I feel that some of you may be in this chasing. It just depends on where you are on the journey. Some of you are releasing in your connection. You're closing the chapter of runner chaser in the dynamic. So there's no longer going to be the runner and the chaser, because you've grown spiritually. Each of you has grown spiritually. So some of you may, they may be wanting to pursue you, and maybe gaining this resilience out of their processing. But, I feel like there's a group that is like closing that chapter of runner chaser, where things are equaling out on they're equaling out, the balance is being brought in back into the connection. And then we have silence. Yeah, they're right now, they're using the silence that they have to go through the processing. You know, the overall message was them having multiple choices, them having, you know, a lot of emotion to process through, and they're having realizations. So they're using their silence right now to process things, and you know, and move in the right direction, to follow their heart. And this is all being guided by spirit, by the divine. And you know, this is a message also to you to allow time for silence today, to you know, allow time for silence to strengthen yourself, to go with the flow of love, to fill your own cup, and to strengthen your own spiritual foundation. So let's get a message, a specific message from them. So there's a lot today about them processing the masculine energy, processing, having realizations, going through maybe emotionally going through some emotions that they need to let go of, and having realizations in the process. And the feminine is the nurturing, loving, compassionate energy that is holding, is the foundational piece of the connection. And I just opened the deck to the Ace of Cups. So definitely filling your own cup, divine feminine, today, and focusing on all the beauty around you and keeping your vibration high. Helps the divine feminine, or the divine masculine, process and you know, have realizations. So focusing on yourself, your own filling of your cup, is going to help them. Oh, I just opened to the Two of Cups. Let's see what comes out. Holy Spirit, angels and guides, what is the message from your person? What is the message from your love interest? What is the message? And we have Queen of Wands. So they feel like they see you as this passionate, this charming, this independent, beautiful, attractive, magnetic queen. And, you know, they feel you can, you know, you can accomplish anything. You can go after what you want. You know, this is them feeling that you are magnetic. The only thing about that is that scares them is that they are afraid they may lose you to someone else. So, and you know that there's no breaking of this bond, that this is something that is put together by God. And but they see you as, you know, the person that fits the crystal shoe for them, the glass slipper for them. They can't truly see anyone else if they're looking. And this is part of their processing today, is what is it that my heart truly desires and wants. So in them processing what their heart wants, that, you know, comes back to them picking themselves, which is choosing you, who they see as the beautiful Queen of Wands, compassionate, charming, independent, magnetic, able to accomplish anything. So give yourself a pat on the back, and you know, keep your energy high, fill up your own cup of love by going within. And I am wishing you the most magical day. Namaste.